So, are you one of those people who just can't seem to get a good night's sleep no matter what you try? Well, we're going to cut through all that noise with a really clear, science-backed 30-day plan to completely reset your sleep cycle. Let's dive in.
Okay, so let's start with the story. Meet Rahul. He does everything you're supposed to do, right? He puts his phone away, he sets his alarm, he closes his eyes at a totally reasonable hour. But then the night really begins. At 1 a.m., he's just staring at the ceiling. By 2 a.m., his brain decides, hey, you know what would be great right now? Let's replay that super embarrassing thing you said at a party 3 years ago. Then at 3 a.m., he starts doing that desperate math. Okay, if I fall asleep right now, I can still get... He finally passes out around 3:30, only to be jolted awake by his alarm just a few hours later. Does any of this sound familiar? I mean, painfully familiar? If it does, you're not alone. And you really need to understand what's actually going on inside your body. Because this isn't some kind of personal failing. It's a biological system that's breaking down. You know, most of us think the only real consequence of a bad night's sleep is just feeling tired the next day. But that idea, it's probably one of the most dangerous lies in all of modern health. The damage is very real, and it starts right inside your brain. This brings us to something absolutely crucial called the glymphatic system. I want you to think of it like your brain's own personal nightly cleaning crew. While you're in deep sleep, this system gets to work flushing out all the metabolic waste and toxic proteins that build up while you're awake. But here's the thing. When you don't sleep enough, that cleaning crew, they pretty much go on strike. And this is where it gets really serious. One of those toxic proteins that doesn't get cleared out is called beta amyloid, and that's the very same one that's directly linked to Alzheimer's disease. In fact, some studies estimate that up to 15% of Alzheimer's cases could be attributed to chronically bad sleep. Let that sink in. You're not just tired, you could be accumulating long-term damage. And look, it doesn't even stop in the brain. Your entire body and your emotions take a massive hit. Your risk for high blood pressure and stroke goes up, your immune system gets weaker, your metabolism slows right down, and emotionally, you become more anxious, way more irritable, and your ability to understand how other people are feeling, your empathy, gets seriously impaired. So the takeaway here is, this affects every single part of your life. Okay, I know that was a lot of doom and gloom, but here's the really good news. This is fixable, and not with just a random list of tips you find online, but with a structured 30-day challenge that builds powerful habits 1 week at a time. Week 1 is all about laying the foundation. We're going to start with 2 things that are totally non-negotiable. First, within 30 minutes of waking up, you have to get 15 minutes of direct sunlight. No excuses. This is like flipping the master switch for your body's internal clock. Second, turn your bedroom into a cave. That means cool, around 18 Celsius or 65 Fahrenheit, pitch dark, and make sure it has good airflow. Now, in week 2, we go to war with stimulants. First up, a hard caffeine cutoff at 2 p.m. You might be thinking, 2 p.m. seems kind of early, right? Well, get this. Caffeine has a half-life of about 6 hours. That means half of that 3 p.m. coffee you had is still in your system at 9 p.m. Second, you need a phone-down curfew 90 minutes before bed. The blue light is one issue, yeah, but the constant interaction and scrolling, it keeps your brain buzzing when it should be winding down. All right, week 3. This might be the single most powerful habit of them all. I'm not kidding. It's all about consistency. You need to pick one wake-up time and stick to it every single day. And yes, that includes weekends. Sleeping in might feel good at the time, but it gives your body what's called social jet lag. It's just as confusing to your internal clock as flying across the country. Remember this, your schedule matters even more than how long you sleep. And now for the final week, week 4. This is where we tackle the ultimate enemy of sleep, the racing mind. We're going to start with a 10-minute brain dump. Just grab a notebook and write down every single worry, every to-do list item, every random thought. This gets it out of your head and onto paper, which signals to your brain that it's okay to let go. And if you're still tense, use the military method. You just systematically tense and then relax every muscle group, starting with your forehead and working all the way down to your toes. So there you have it. 4 weeks of progressive habits that all build on each other. And to make this super easy for you, we've put the whole thing together into one simple, actionable tool that you can literally start using tonight. And here it is, your entire 30-day reset on a single checklist. See how we've separated the habits? The ones you do during the day are marked with a little sun, and the ones for night are marked with the moon. You just start with the simple stuff in week 1 and then build up to the more disciplined habits in weeks 3 and 4. This is your roadmap. Look, if there's one thing you take away from all this, it has to be this massive shift in how we think about sleep. For so long, we've been treating sleep like it's a luxury or maybe a reward for a hard day's work. It's not. It is the non-negotiable foundation that your health, your mood, your focus, everything is built on. Now, don't get overwhelmed. You don't have to do everything all at once. The goal here isn't perfection, it's just to start. So pick one thing from that checklist and commit to it tonight. What's it going to be? Which one of these solutions are you going to start with?